And last but not least, please tell us a little bit about the German legislation versus the French proposal you have on the table, and how they are different and how they are similar, and what they're trying to address.
The German approach that you're referring to is the law against hate speech, which came into effect on the 1st of January this year, and which actually voted and passed in September and October last year. The most famous provision in that law that everybody thinks of is the penalty of 50 million euros in case you violate the law. And that has become an inspiration for other countries, which have more or less just copied that law, or have at least to a very large extent been inspired by that. The French initiative is different, because the French initiative seeks to include not only the battle against hate speech and fake news, as we see in Germany, but other content regulation challenges on the internet. In other words, a much more coherent and large ambit of the law than we see in Germany. That's the first difference. The second difference is that the French law will, I believe and I hope, not impose the same level of sanctions, not the famous 50 million euros, which could have a chilling effect on freedom of speech. Not very many firms can afford to pay 50 million euros, and that would have a strong effect on what we call collateral blocking. That is, that you take down some content because you're afraid that you'll have to pay 50 million euros. That could be very bad for free speech. We believe and we hope that the French law will not impose that kind of very heavy penalty, but a much lower penalty, and that also the basis of awareness or complicity on behalf of the intermediary has to be established. So it won't be enough that you see some hate speech or fake news bit on fake news on Facebook or referred to by Google or some other media to say that they are accountable. There needs to be a special awareness of the fact that this is actually traveling on their media, because you can't hold them accountable if they don't know. So I hope and I believe that the French law will be more nuanced than the German heavy-handed approach.
And just today is May 25, 2018. Today it starts it starts to be in place.
The GDPR takes effect today. It's a historic day.
Yeah, that's it. Takes effect, the GDPR. So just send us some general news about that, some general words. What do you think this represents? So starting from today, what's new and what do we have to watch?
Well, the GDPR is the most important piece of legislation since the creation of the internet, or at least since the Communications Decency Act from 1996. And a very short way of describing fairly complicated regulation is to say that it puts us as individuals, as human beings, back in the center of the universe. We are now suddenly in control of our destiny, because the internet really regulates our life today. And until today, we have just had to accept what happens to us. Now we are back in the driver's seat. Now we decide what's going to happen to us.
That's excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.